guys, it's Jen from the Stock Trading Couple, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can make 15% in one day in the stock market. Yes, 15% in just one day of work, and it's honestly not even that hard. It takes a few seconds, and it's great profits, and it can even be up to 50% if the stock does really well. But just a little disclaimer, this is not financial advice. I'm just saying what we do as a couple, and we've been very successful doing it. However, it can always go the opposite way. The market's not always predictable. So let's go right into it. So I want you to pull up Google and type in TradingView. And then you see tradingview.com, and then go to chart. And here, if you're not familiar with TradingView, it's a platform that shows every single different stock in the whole market. It shows their chart, a really nice layout. It shows all the candles, if you're familiar, if you watch stocks according to candles, and various indicators, which are just calculations on about how the stock is doing overall. So you can really search up any stock on here. So it's super beneficial to do so. So have this tab open, and then I want you to go to Google and look up when companies release earnings next. Just a general Google search. And what I like to go to and use is Business Insider's Market Insider Earnings Calendar. And here it shows large cap, mid cap, and small cap companies and when they're going to release their earnings next. So you can go to today, tomorrow, this week, depending on you plan to do this. And they have large cap companies, which are like multi-billion-dollar companies. Mid cap is a little bit less, still $1 billion, and small caps are more multi-million-dollar companies, but up to a few $1 billion. I like to stick with large cap companies just because I find that they're more not really safe, but just like they could be conceived as safe, but it just makes me feel a little bit better putting a lot of money into this rather than a small cap company, especially if they have a history of doing really well and they're very well established. But you could do this with any company really, as long as they have a good history. So Dollar Tree is a good example. They released their earnings today, and they made a lot of profit. I think the stock is already up 10%. So Dollar Tree stock, if you look, it's already up almost 11% today. And how is it up 11% today? Well, they released their earnings. In the past 2 years, Dollar Tree has done so well. They beat their earnings every time, and earnings are released quarterly, 4 times a year. So they beat their earnings like up to 8 times. And it's just very, very profitable company. So we could predict that they're probably going to beat their earnings. And what I want you to do is definitely do your research on the companies that you're going to buy. Really, the hack is just knowing when the company is going to release their earnings and buying right before they release their earnings. So example, Dollar Tree. Buy around, okay, so they're going to release their earnings on the 23rd. Today is the 23rd. So I wanted to buy it on the 22nd. They haven't released their earnings yet. So the stock is still kind of low. It might gravitate a little bit up because people know it's going to release their earnings. But no one's for sure about how their earnings are going to do. And most investors will buy it right after they release their earnings because they know the company did well. Then they want to help on that train. But the problem with that is then you get in when everyone else does. So you probably would buy it at maybe, and by the time you buy it, it's already 5% increased, which is still a good profit, but you never know. Like, it's not as great of a profit as if you were to buy right before, the day before it releases its earnings. So it will be released later that night, and then the next day it's going to skyrocket. So this could be conceived as day trading. Day trading is obviously very, very, very risky. However, it can be super profitable. And you don't if you're investing in a company like Dollar Tree, like it's a humongous company, their market cap's $33 billion. You don't have to sell it right away. And that's what I love about doing with these big companies, because this Dollar Tree would be a good investment no matter what. If you look at the past year, the past 5 years, it's been going up. It's been up 64% past 5 years. It's been up 50% the past year. It's been doing well. So the chances of you losing a lot of money are slim if you hold on to it a long time. So say Dollar Tree weren't to meet their earnings and it falls all this way and everyone like sells their stock. Well, yeah, that sucks, but if you hold on to it long enough, it will probably go up. And I'm going to tell you how to know if this happens, when to sell and how long to hold on for. So I want you to go back to TradingView and look up Dollar Tree. And I want you to look at the relative strength index. Relative strength index. Okay, so right now it looks like Dollar Tree is being overbought. And how do I know this? This is a very common index. A lot of traders use it, and it's pretty simple to understand, and that's why I love it. It's at the 30% and 70% marker. When it's over 70%, this line right here, that means it's being overbought, and so many people are buying it that the price is too expensive, and it will eventually come down. Doesn't always, but it usually does. Or if you look in the 5-year mark, if it's under 30%, that means it's being oversold. People are selling the stock. It's really cheap, so it's a good time to buy because you know that it's going to go back up, correct itself, and you're going to make some good profit. So right now, I would say, like, I already made a lot of money on this stock, like 10%, 11% in a day. I'm going to probably sell right here because it's already being overbought, so I know it's going to eventually come back down. So that's a great way to use this chart to know when it's time to sell. And if it were to come, if say it were to release its earnings, or earnings were really bad and then it fell, then you hold on to it and then you just wait for it to go back up until it's around maybe 60, 70% area, even like high 50s is good. And then you know, well, this is probably a better time to sell because it's not at its lowest, and so I'm going to get a better price. So if it tends to drop after its earnings, then just follow this chart, hold on to it because it is a good company and you know it will go back up. And so Dollar Tree so far has made, like I said, 11% today after releasing their earnings. I think it was this morning or last night. But how do you make 15%? And like, why did I say that? And even why did I say up to 50%? Well, let's look at a stock that did super well after they released their earnings. Let's look at Roblox. If you're into investing, I'm sure you heard a lot about this. If you go to the past month, you can probably see on November 8th, they released their earnings. And if you bought at $77, the next day, it would have been $109.52. So that's like 35% profit, huge increase, and it continued to go up. If you hold on to it for a few days, you see like the RSI is so good. It went up to all the way to 134. So we go back to here, type in Roblox. And then let's say 3 months. So yeah, you knew that you wanted to maybe sell around this point or this point because the stock is still going up. Obviously, maybe the 9th after it released the earnings would have been a better time to sell, but still was above its being overbought here. So that would have been a great time to sell at an even higher price. So that's how you know. And Roblox is a great example. Unfortunately, it's dropping a lot now. It's probably a good time to buy Roblox because it's hitting almost the oversold part. So it would be a brilliant time to buy. But so it's just great how this is a really good way to like make quick money, especially if you can watch the market closely. If you don't, just go on your lunch break. Usually, like, it doesn't take that long to just look at the stock, see how it's doing, look at this RSI, and then sell or buy. Who knows? So yeah, that's a great hack to make a lot of money. You can make anywhere from like 10 to 40%. Like I'm sure there's like some examples out there that you could make even more in a day. But at the end of the day, this is not me providing you with advice. This is me providing you with what we do as a couple and how we make quick profits and in reputable companies. And it's easy and simple. So thanks so much for watching. Okay. Bye now.